Good morning, everybody. I hope that all of you are fine, and my dear students are all following the classes which we are filling to you, and you are all doing your homeworks. Make it serious and don't take it easy, and be careful. And next is the last topic. The last lesson we read about the Indian rivers and the river systems. Among that, we read about the different river systems, and nothing but the Himalayan river system, Peninsular system, Indo-Gangetic river system are there, and later in that again we divided the Himalayan river systems into Indus, Ganges, Brahmaputra. Today we have read briefly about that, how the water usage is there, and how the water is used briefly, how the water is used properly, and how we have to use, whether it may be in the domestic purpose or industrial purpose or agricultural purpose, whatever may be extra, you have to use it in the proper way. And today we will read about the topic water used in the Tungabhadra river basin. Water used in the Tungabhadra river basin. How the water is used in the Tungabhadra river basin. The topic is there in your textbook. Here the example is given. It is. We will take this example and will I will explain you now. Okay, right. So here you all know that Tungabhadra is a river which is present in the Telangana and Karnataka border. Telangana and Karnataka border. It is also part of one of the it is a tributary of the Krishna river. So Tungabhadra shares 3 states. Tungabhadra river water is shared in 3 states. Which states now? Most part is Karnataka, and next Telangana, next Andhra. So these 3 are there, and it is a tributary of large river system Krishna. Tungabhadra is a tributary of Krishna river system, and it originates in the Western Ghats, where it has taken birth in the Western Ghats, and its catchment means its covering area is 71,417 kilometers square. Its overall area is 71,417 square kilometers. But among the 71,417, 57,671 kilometers square is in Karnataka. 57,000. Understood? More than half. And the Tungabhadra has 2 parts. That is Tunga, nothing but Bhadra. So high. You know that. So here these 2 parts are called as the upper and the middle catchments. These 2 parts called upper and middle catchments, and the upper and middle catchments are in the Karnataka. The upper and middle catchments are where? In the Karnataka, and the lower portion of the catchment is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And the lower portion is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So why? Because 57,000 square kilometers is present in Karnataka. So by this we can say that most of the part of the Tungabhadra river is in where Karnataka, and remaining part is in Telangana and Andhra. So according to the official status about rivers, national property, no. So these rivers official status will be there. River is a natural property, so every government has the status measures how much water is every year storing in the river and how much water is flowing, how much they are using, how much they are using. Total the water department is there, the river water control department, and for every state, those states will look after the problems and use of this river water. Use of this river water, and the same way they have they have made an official survey that how the water is used for farmland, how much water is used for farmland, and the same way it also covered in the all the states how much water is covering in these 3 states. Survey has done and given a conclusion. We will read here now. And by this river water, the nearby the rivers, these water used for trees, growing trees, groves, land, grasslands, and cultivable lands. Some agricultural lands are also cultivated nearby this river, beside the river. And permanent pastures also. Permanent pastures are nothing but the grass permanently, and nothing but the forests also. Forests also used, and natural vegetation, greenery total. And these all happening there, and it also stores the water in the tanks. This river water is stored in the tanks nearby the lakes. While the river is flowing, what it does now? The water is flows out, where it goes? In the tanks. Tanks are nothing but the lakes. So that is, the river water is stored in the tanks also, and in the lower portion, this is the upper portion like this, and the lower portion that is present in Telangana and Andhra has the drought conditions. Tungabhadra river where it flows, Tungabhadra river where it flows in lower catchment in Telangana and Andhra, that areas are drought. Drought means no water will be there. Why? Because all the water is using in the upper catchment only, and up to lower catchment the water is not coming. Flow of water is not coming up. There only everything is completing. So here the problem arises. Here the problem is arising, and they have to dig the bore wells. What we have to do here? The water means take the bore well for the agriculture. And there is a lot of difference in the water availability between the upper catchment and the lower catchment. In the same way, nothing but in Karnataka have a more river is present in 3 states, but most of the river water is using Karnataka, and even in 2 states we are having the less water. So availability is not equal. Availability is not equal. And encouragement of public lands of cultivation. So what happened here? Encouragement is going on in Karnataka to cultivate the lands to agriculture and to develop the agriculture there more. So results have been brought a more development in the expensive coverage of tree in the Karnataka, and rampant in the same way the rampant falling of forests, mining activities resulting in the forest degradation and also destruction of habitat and highly threatened the flora and fauna. So what happened? So nearby the river, all the forests which were there, they were all cut off due to the felling of trees. What happened? The water storage capacity. When the rainfall water fall, the forests are there. What happened? The water absorbed there and they are only stored. Now it is not like that. Cut it off. Going on, moving. So automatically what happening? Taking all the waste along with the, not only the soil erosion takes place. And here some mines are there. The mining is importantly going on. So the mines are there. The mines are what they are doing? They are the waste which is coming kept outside, that also runs out with the water and it is settling there, and it causes the water damage to the Tungabhadra dam. So we here. Moreover, the flash floods. When the forests are cut, what happens? Flash floods. Flash floods means when the rainwater suddenly flows off. So it is called flash floods. And if you are fair both of the rainfed and canal irrigated areas, we must have adopted a different plan for water conservation, the system sharing water. So if you want to be fair, that Karnataka as well as Telangana and Andhra all both should sit together, and they should be fair and share the water equally and plan it how to do the agriculture, how to use the water, how much they have to use, how much we have to use, like this everything should be planned. Everything should be planned. So like this. And Tungabhadra gradually it has built some decades ago, some 50 years ago. Actually, Tungabhadra Dam was built some 50 years ago, and its storage capacity is 3,766 millicubic meters. Its storage capacity is 3,766 millicubic meters, and the accumulation of this silt due to the mining and due to the soil erosion, debris, the reservoir has lost the capacity and it has came to 849 cubic meters. Actually, when the dam was built, the dam was, how much it was, ma? 3,766 cubic meter capacity. Tungabhadra Dam, 3,766. But now it is 849. So remaining all what filled with the debris, dust, sand, waste particles which run out with the flash floods came and settled in the dam, and dam's depth have increased to equal land. Like this, dam have been totally filled with the debris, and if it is goes on, and there is a threat that in future the Tungabhadra Dam will collapse. Already government have given an intimation that within few years, what will happen we don't know. Like that the government declared. And why it is happened like that? Poor mining. Near the Tungabhadra river dam, there are some mines. There are what there are? Mines. And the mining of iron mine is there in Kurdermukh. There is iron mine in the Kurdermukh. And manganese in the Sandur. Iron mine is in the Kurdermukh and manganese in the Sandur. And it is affected stability with the catchment. So nothing but here these two mines are near to the Tungabhadra river part in Karnataka. Due to the soil erosion, all the waste, dust, debris and these all minerals flow off, and these small reservoirs are filled, and they are took with it and they fill the total Tungabhadra reservoir. And the concretes are going on. Concretes means nothing but about Tungabhadra water usage. You only using the total water Karnataka. We also need, like India, Telangana and Andhra are asking, but these concretes are never ended. Though how many if you go to court, states went to court, Supreme Court, they ordered again, the same thing will go up. Why? Because the water there only all the people turn off and they use for the different purposes. It is going on like that. And the conflict between the Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh generally related to the availability of the water usage. And the flow of source and the storage of use upstreams affects what is available for the people downstream. So, but everything is going on, every time we are sitting together and chit chatting, okay happening. But when the time comes, the upper catchment nothing but Karnataka area only, totally observing water, using water. And when we come to lower catchment, the Telangana and Andhra are not receiving, and they are not thinking about the lower catchment also. And like this it is happening. And another thing is there, water is shared on the basis of the agreement between the state government. I don't know already. Water is stored on the basis of the agreement. The agreement only will make and will share it, right? And so access to water. Access means use of water. Has everyone has a water use of water, and precondition of farmland area. So what we have to do? Agriculture, what we are doing, that should be planned. Without planning, if you do, and then what happens here? You will have to use more water, more expenditure, etc., etc. So in that percent, the farmland where they are using is 80% of the population depend upon the agriculture for their livelihood. Irrigation is provided through canal system, where the rainfed area farmers extract groundwater through bore wells. The major people include paddy, sugar, java, cotton, finger millets. So here in the Karnataka area, the people who are doing and depending upon agriculture are 80% mark. So nearly 80% means totally 80% people there only they are completing the water. And what they are growing? Sugarcane, millets, banana, maize, paddy, finger millets, etc. So although an ideal example we have to take that semi-arid crops. We have to grow semi-arid means less water consumption crops. And the major crop demand of the lot of water is paddy, sugarcane. Paddy, sugarcane. And cultivation of such crops from these and the conflicts between be evitable. So paddy, sugarcane we have to stop it. Why? Because they need more water. If we stop growing that, automatically what happens? Water can be stored more, and it can be moved forward and come to the down areas. And hence the significant difference between the farmers and access of the land and irrigated without access. For the fair use of farmers, the change of crop pattern should be used. Not only that, in the Karnataka catchment people should do crop rotation. They should not grow banana and they should not grow paddy every time. If they grow like that, what happens? They are only using water. So at that time, however, it is hard, and the water they are only using, and they cannot send it down into the lower catchment, that is Telangana, and so the people suffering here in this way. And later, in the last 2 decades, they have been increasing a trend in the number of small towns and industrial areas. The last 2 decades means last 20 years, agriculture is 80%. In the last 2 decades, what happened? Number of industries have developed. But also one cause. Industry we need means we need first of all water. Where water is there industry will be opened, established. And they have been increasing the trend in the number of industries. More number of industries have been started. And even now small town nearby the Tungabhadra river has become the industry. And this made the demand for the more complex. Nothing but now, nearby the Tungabhadra river, whatever the small town is, their industry. So automatically what happened? Demand increased. Water usage is there. So everything, water is near. So like this. And industrialization increased, urbanization increased, and water problems started. Standard of living of the people have changed, and there were only, and this caused the activities for the pollution, full pollution there. And there are 27 functioning large industries. How many are there, ma'am? 27 large and 2,543 small industries. How many are there? 27 large industries and 2,543 small industries are there. Okay, so like that and the government have given, how the government has given the permission for these industries we don't know. Before giving, they have to take care of the water, the resource, and how the water if they use. The other states are there, they should send the water for them. They have to proper conclusion. No, the government has not taken the proper measure. The consumption of large water amount per day is going on there only. They are using more quantity of water, and the laws which are made according to the 1984 between the states are breaked off. And not only that, the water which is coming from the upper catchment to lower catchment is not at all, and due to the water, total pollution water, all the flora fauna have been died. No fishes, no everything have been totally died. And is a cause. This is the cause for the water. This is the main cause due to the industrialization. And all the effluents from the industries, waste effluents, are sent out and made it to mix it to the Tungabhadra. So like this, the laws which they have to implement, they are not implemented, and they made a lot serious about it, and severe pollution systems are going on and the river system like this. And this is a mismatch between the keeping pace and the development of the activities of the various fronts and providing sanitation and drinking water. Not only that, now the industry started. There, in the industries will work, people will work means town will become a city. City means schools, colleges, degree, hostels, everything open, hospitals. Now what happened now? Government should provide all the facilities. Drinking water, drainage, electricity, etc. So these are also become a major problem for them. So like it is going on. But whatever may be, they are also facing the both small towns and cities, villages also became the big town cities now. And some of them are drinking water is not available there. And they have to buy the water and drink. This situation is there in the Tungabhadra river catchment, upper catchment. And when the experiment is metered water, we have to allow the certain sections also. So what they are doing, government has kept the meter of water. However, electricity meter will be a current meter. Every house will have a tap. Further, they put the meter. The meter means 1 liter is equal to 1 liter. Like that comes. How many liters you use? 10 liters. So for 10 liters, they have to pay the tax. Daily, how many liters you use? That much tax. So overall, after the 1 month, bill will come. So at that time, you have to pay. So like that, the government has planned put the meters for the taps. So get their control over it. And like this, the different sections of the government has made an effort to make the basic requirements and to come out of these what major issues which are facing by the people and the government in the Tungabhadra catchment river. And a report of the river basin says that provisions of drinking water used in the townships is not planned at all. Here, a report which has surveyed, actually no planning is there. Everything what they have done is not planned way. This is not a planned way. Everything is a unplanned way. Particularly the small towns have serious access and equity related issues. More so during the summer season. The people there are who are there, they are suffering a lot for drinking water. No proper provisions, no proper facilities, and no proper drinking water. In summer season, it is a very critical for the people to get drinking water. Thus, these socio-economic aspects are very important for the water usage management. Nothing but this is a social aspect, but it is a very usage for the water usage management. What we have to make it take a one management, how we have to use the water, and how we have to use the water for the drinking, how we have to use the water for the industrial purpose, agriculture purpose. In agriculture, grow less water consumption plants, and in a domestic purpose industries. Industries, what they have to use, what they use the water. Again, you have to recycle it and use it. Like this, we have to make the water management, water conservation management, and again we have to use the water for different purposes. So like this, you have to make a water use management, and then everyone will be happy. Conflicts will not come. Now this is not going on. What is happening? Conflicts are happening between the one region to other region, and the use of agriculture, use of industries, use of industrialization, towns, urbanization in total upper catchment, that is in the Karnataka only, and total water there only going up, and no water is coming to the lower catchment, that is in the Telangana and the Andhra Pradesh. Apart from the interstate disputes, so these disputes are going on from not here now, from last 20 years going on, and here the Karnataka has combined with Andhra Pradesh arise due to transboundary nature in the river. So when our Telangana has not divided, at that time Telangana was mingled with Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh, at that time the Karnataka has made one water agreement due to transboundary nature in nature. So what it said, our Tungabhadra is in the border of the the Andhra Pradesh. That's why we will also provide water. So like that they have made an agreement, but it have not came into the use. So this is about the water use in the Tungabhadra river basin. This is about what water in the river, water usage in the Tungabhadra river basin. Okay, and now you have to write the homework, write the main points, and two question answers. Are you writing or not, everyone? Seriously write it. Why? Because it will be allotted in the writing marks. You know that in few days we are going to open the school. Okay? Right. All of you be happy and be safe now. Thank you.